Mathematics is the science of logical patterns, and truth can be established by deduction from these patterns. And the most elegant of math's truths exists in its foundation, which is numbers. For numbers are symbols which are utilized for measuring and counting. And as Plato expounded, numbers are the highest degree of knowledge, for it is knowledge itself. But what is the opposite of mathematics and numbers? It is ignorance. Man has blinded himself with ignorance. For as Socrates said, ignorance is the root and stem of every evil. So let us strive to find knowledge and truth, for truth can be found in mathematics and numbers.
What is 20? 20 is the age of service to the Lord. For 20 was the age when the Levites were allowed to work for the service of the house of the Lord. These were the sons of Levi, according to their fathers' households, and the number of names by their census, doing the work for the service of the house of the Lord, from 20 years old and upward. For by the last words of David, the sons of Levi were numbered from 20 years old and upward. 2 Chronicles 23, 24, and 27. And 20 was the age when the priests were allowed to oversee the work of the house of the Lord. Zerubbabel the son of Shealtiel, and Jeshua the son of Jozadak, and the rest of their brothers, the priests and the Levites, and all who came from the captivity to Jerusalem, began the work and appointed the Levites from 20 years and older to oversee the work of the house of the Lord. Ezra 3:8. And now the work of the house has been handed over to his servants to complete the work of the house of the Lord. The Hebrew word for 20 is esrem, which means 2 times 10. For the tabernacle was built in 20 on 2 sides. You shall make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards for the south side, and for the second side of the tabernacle, on the north side 20 boards. Exodus 26, 18, 20. And its pillars shall be 20, with their 20 sockets of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be of silver. Likewise for the north side in length there shall be hangings 100 cubits long, and its 20 pillars, with their 20 sockets of bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands shall be of silver. Exodus 27, 10 through 11. And when his people entered the promised land, the temple was built in 20. Then he prepared an inner sanctuary within the house in order to place there the ark of the covenant of the Lord. The inner sanctuary was 20 cubits in length, 20 cubits in width, and 20 cubits in height, and he overlaid it with pure gold. 1 Kings 6, 19 through 20, 2 Chronicles 3, 8. And the cherubim of the covenant was built in 20. The wingspan of the cherubim was 20 cubits. The wing of one of 5 cubits touched the wall of the house, and its other wing of 5 cubits touched the wing of the other cherub. 2 Chronicles 3:11. And each cherubim had 20 fingers in the image of God and his people. And the altar of the temple was built in 20 cubits in length and 20 cubits in width. 2 Chronicles 4:1. And the most holy of holies is in 20. He measured its length 20 cubits, and the width 20 cubits, before the nave, and he said to me, "This is the most holy place." Ezekiel 41:4. For 20 represents the service of God's people to the Lord. For 20 was the age that God's people were called on to fight for his kingdom. For Moses was commanded by God to take a census of the men over 20. Take a census of all the congregation of the sons of Israel from 20 years old and upward, by their fathers' households, whoever is able to go out to war in Israel. So Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan at Jericho, saying, Take a census of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord has commanded Moses. Numbers 1:45 through 46. And the Lord commanded each man of 20 and upward to contribute to the Lord. Everyone who is numbered from 20 years old and over shall give the contribution to the Lord. Exodus 30:14. And the men who were 20 and upward were commanded to fight for the land. So all the numbered men of the sons of Israel by their fathers' households, from 20 years old and upward, whoever was able to go out to war in Israel, even all the numbered men, were 603,550. Numbers 26:1 through 4. And 20 is of great significance, for 20 is one number short of God's perfection. For 21 is the product of 3 times 7. And as we know, 3 represents the Trinity, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And as we know, 7 represents 7 days, the time of production. For Revelation speaks of 21, the produce of 7 times 3. For there will be 7 seals, and 7 trumpets, and 7 bowls of wrath. Then the final battle on earth shall be fought. And when the battle is complete, then I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth passed away, and there is no longer any sea. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of the heavens from God, making ready as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is among men, and he will dwell among them. And they shall be his people, and God himself will be among them. And he will wipe every tear from their eyes, and there will no longer be any death. There will no longer be any mourning, or crying, or pain. The first things have passed away. Revelation 21.